This video brought to you in part by these fantastic sponsors.
Good morning, and what is up? It is Wednesday, my dudes, and that means it's patch note time. And there was a lot of speculation around what was going to be coming out with this patch. Well, we did get Chapter 5.1 and a whole lot of other things. We did have the teaser yesterday for the exclusive equipment, and we will go over that as well. But let's first get into it from the top. The Hall of Trials will be officially opening, and the newest boss, Archdemon Mercedes, along with new exclusive equipment, await our heirs. I am so excited to fight Archdemon Mercedes again, just so that I can see her on my screen more often, because if they ever put that in the game or in a skin, there is no amount of money that I would not spend for that item. Now, let's see what else we're going to be getting here. Episode 2, Chapter 5.1, North Fortress City Pearland will open, along with the introduction of 5 brand new 3-stars. And they did peep them a little bit before this, and they're going to be pretty fire. So we will be able to get 5 new 3-stars. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, bah, 3-stars, what good are those? Commando Arena, Axe God, Flurry, Amont, Gunther. There's a ton of 3-stars that are absolute fire out there, and a handful of these ones are going to be as well. The Ice Thief says, known as the Berserker, has his own drop rate event this week. I didn't know that he was actually the Berserker. I thought that he was just like an edgy emo kid that gets foddered into Spez. And speaking of Spez, honestly, if you think about it, Spez is the best character that E7 has to offer because his specials allow for mind games and early kills. The list also goes on. While a top tier character, he does require the player to have a diverse skill set and deep understanding of the game in order to play correctly. He is an underplayed, underappreciated gem of the Smash roster, but unfortunately I do think that less competent players like Derp do have a long way to go before utilizing him with his full potential. But that aside, says will have a rate up, so if you do have a Spez, then you can consider pulling for a couple of dupes in order to imprint him. Finally, we will have other convenience changes, along with the preview of the side story, The Shadow of Ravenwing Manor, which will be probably when we're going to be getting the Halloween stuff, like the limited character and the Epic Pass, which should be, it is ending today. So 5.1 North Fortress City Pearland. What are we going to be getting out of here? We're going to be getting 12 quests. Fantastic. We are going to be getting an AP exchange, which we will, have the same thing with all of the new ones where you do have to clear everything out in order to finish up the AP exchange and open up the next item. But what are we going to get? Breath of Orbis. That's right, one more Breath of Orbis. Every Breath of Orbis takes us one step closer to being able to finish out absolutely everything. And with the changes to the stigma and skills, maxing out your hatchery thing is pretty much way more important now than it was before. So we are going to be getting Breath of Orbis. You're going to be able to get Flame Souls, Archer Visions, so leather sheaths out of this, as well as that attack armor right there. But unfortunately, once you buy it, you can't buy it anymore. So after you get all of these in the Breath, there's not really a good reason to farm this when you could be farming other places for epic catalysts from the AP shop. But let's take a look at these 3-star characters, and some of them look really cool, like edgy furry fox boy here. But first off, we're going to have some in the Covenant summons. We're going to have some in the Moonlight summons. Hatan, Lina, and Ainz can be summoned in drop rate up events, whereas Eaton and Batista are available in the Moonlight summon. Now, that doesn't make any sense. If the 3-star heroes, Hatan, Lina, Ainz, can be summoned in drop rate up events, they're not limited, I can't imagine. But I guess they would be in the Covenant and the drop rate up, and maybe the other ones are only available in Moonlight Summons? I don't know. We'll find out. But let's talk about Ainz. This is the first one here, a fighter known among the criminal underground as the Akhend Outlaw. Ainz has committed a lot of crimes with his simple and bravado-driven personality. He once had a strong reputation for taking care of the people around him, but after escaping prison, he became incredibly selfish, and now he just takes care of the people around him. Now, first off, he's going to be a 3-star Earth Warrior, Libra star type. First up, Gazelle Punch. Punches the enemy with a 50% chance to use Satisfying Strike instead of Gazelle Punch. Satisfying Strike, a successful attack, always results in a critical hit. Now, I can see him being built with a lot of C damage, a lot of attack, because you have basically a 50-50 chance of it being a critical attack. So you can build him with other stats and just rely on that 50-50 chance. Now, his second skill, and this one is going to be just crazy. Gash. When attacked, has a 40 to 50% chance to counterattack. Now, if this works like Purges, this is going to stack on top of a counterattack set. That means with the 20% chance from the counterattack set plus 50% chance, that's going to be 70% chance to counterattack with a 50-50 chance to critical attack. And couple that with your last skill, Ram, punches the enemy with a 100 up to 100% chance to stun for 2 turns. So not only are you going to be counterattacking, you're going to have a 50% chance to crit, and you have a skill. Your third skill is going to have a 100% chance to stun for 2 turns. This is going to be really, really big. He is going to be just dropping characters. If you build him super fat, super tanky with a critical set, and you put some attack damage, some crit damage on him, he is just going to be critting and countering like crazy. I have a bunch of counterattack sets. I love counterattack. I love RNG. So guess what? I'm going to be running this dude tanky attack counter. Not too sure what. I might put a Sigurd Scythe on him. That would be pretty good because that would help out with sustain as he gets a little bit lower. So he's going to be really, really strong. I am looking forward to seeing what his modifiers look like on those attacks, as well as what he scales with. Not too sure if they're just going to not put that in here or what it's going to scale off of. So up next is going to be Lina, and we have, oh wow, that second skill, holy crap. Okay, anyways, the daughter of a family of sorcerers from Witch Haven, the wandering fighter Hatan taught her martial arts and of the outside world as he passes through the city. That was really quick. He's just passing through. He's like, oh, hey, here's all of my martial arts and the outside world. But anyways, after he left, she lost interest in magic and worked to hone her fighting skills alone. Unsatisfied, she eventually left Witch Haven as well to find Hatan and become his disciple. So let's see, first skill. So anyways, Ice Warrior Libra. We're going to have the first skill is your Soft. Attacks with a strong fist, increasing the caster's combat readiness by 20%. Second skill, Power Strike. Up to 50% increased critical hit chance. That means that you can build her with almost no crit chance, all crit damage, all attack. That means that she's going to be hitting, increasing her combat readiness, and she's going to be hitting like an absolute truck. Let's talk about the last skill, Exposed. Attacks all enemies with a powerful storm, decreasing combat readiness by 20% before increasing attack of the caster for 2 turns. Damage dealt increases proportional to the amount of enemies' lost health. When the enemy is defeated, this skill cooldown is defeated with this skill, cooldown does not occur. This is pretty crazy right here. So if you kill someone, guess what? You just do it again. And you can stack massive amounts of crit damage and attack. She's going to be increasing her combat readiness. She's going to be decreasing the enemy's combat readiness. She's going to have no cooldown on her last skill if she kills somebody. I can see Lina being very, very strong for a 3-star as well. So on to the next one is Hatan. Not too sure why he is a thief, but he is a martial arts master who is teaching girls martial arts in the outside world as he walks through cities. That's what this sly fox is doing. I'm pretty sure it's not a fox, it's a wolf. But anyways, Hatan, fire thief, 3-star, a descendant of the Suin, taken as slaves by settlers from Britannia. He was able to earn his freedom at a young age thanks to the sacrifices of his family, but had to become a street fighter in the criminal underground just to survive. Just as he began opening up to others and finding inner peace, he lost all of his friends after his disciple Batista went on a rampage. Now he seeks revenge and teaching girls martial arts. That's apparently just a thing that you do as you seek revenge in the world. Knee smash. Smashes the enemy with their knee. That's pretty straightforward. I would be very confused if it didn't just smash them with his knee. But anyways, 50 to 80% chance to decrease hit chance for 1 turn. Damage dealt increases proportional to the caster's speed. So he's going to be another speedy boy. Pretty sweet. Next up, wind pressure. Attacks the enemy with wind pressure. Activates wind pressure again when the enemy is defeated. Damage dealt increases proportional to the caster's speed. Last one, Unbreakable Will. Releases energy to all allies, increasing attack for 2 turns before increasing speed of the caster for 2 turns. So you're going to start out, increase attack for 2 turns for everybody, increase your speed, buff, come through. I would assume probably soften people up with everybody else, come back through, hit with wind pressure. Based on the caster's speed, is going to be reset. Or it's going to activate again. So I don't know. He's kind of interesting. Another speedy character, but he doesn't really have a CR push, which is kind of oofs. Not too sure how I feel about him right now. But let's talk about Eaton right now, a mysterious golem who stops people from entering certain areas because that's what golems do. His muddled memories mean he doesn't know what he's protecting or why. Because you're a golem, dude, you just protect stuff. Just here, you shall not pass. Recently, he has begun to question whether he really ever was a human or if he is simply a golem with the memories of a human. Every time he encounters humans, he approaches them out of pure curiosity, but often ends up fighting them due to a rumor that was spread in the past. Not only that, but if you see a giant golem approaching you, probably chances are you're going to be like, oh snap, that's a golem approaching me, square up. You're probably just a golem with human memories. I don't think too many times that humans are often just turned into golems. But regardless, we're looking at a light knight, cancer type, 3-star. First up, come here. Strongly knees the enemy with a 75% chance each to provoke for 1 turn. 75% chance each to provoke for 1 turn. I think it's just once. Just it. Damage dealt increases proportional to the caster's max health. Eye Protect receives 30% of damage taken by an ally in their place. Only the highest damage distribution effect will be applied. Increases max health by up to 20%. So this is what, an Arius without the defense? Except I think it takes more. I forget. I think Arius is 20%. So this is basically like a better Arius. Last one is I'm Tough. Release strong energy, dispelling all debuffs inflicted on the caster before granting a barrier and immunity for 2 turns. Barrier strength increases proportional to the caster's max health. So this is pretty good. He seems like he's just going to be a character that's going to soak really heavy. You could potentially run him with an adamant shield to reduce crit. It doesn't have the 10% defense buff that carrying an Arius would hold, but the 30% of damage taken by an ally in their place is pretty sweet. I'd have to do some testing on that, see how that goes, but you could build him super, super tanky and just have him help absorb a lot of your AoE damage. So hopefully this will help negate some cleave teams, potentially see how that goes, but definitely an interesting character right there. All right, last up is going to be Batista, and Batista gained incredible power after using his teacher, Hatan, and other companions to obtain the fighter's mask. Intoxicated by that power, he murdered them all except for Hatan and just disappeared. So, you know, probably for that whole I need some sort of rival to come, you know, challenge me aspect of, you know, how things work in general. You know, let's not just kill everyone and be super powerful and have nobody really care about me being super powerful. I'm going to kill everybody except for my previous teacher. That is always a really good idea, Batista. But anyways, as time passed, the power the mask gave him grew stronger, but in return, his sense of self is becoming increasingly blurred. That's usually how super powerful artifacts happen. You kind of, I mean, look at Straws and that sword, right? Right. You know, hey, here's some power, kill everybody. But anyways, Dark Warrior Taurus, first up skill is going to be a brawl. Hits the enemy in the face. Love that description. What are we doing? We're just going to hit that dude over there in the face. When used against an enemy inflicted with decreased attack, activates Rock Smash. Rock Smash attacks all enemies. Now, he's going to be really good to pair up with somebody who can potentially drop the attack, decrease attack at the very beginning, and then follow up with him so he hits every enemy. Justified Provoke at the start of the turn has a up to 100% chance to decrease attack of the enemy with the highest combat readiness for 2 turns. Okay, never mind. You actually don't have to, because at the very beginning, he's just like, come on, let's do this. You got the highest combat readiness. Boom. We're going in on you, and you have your attack reduced. This is going to be actually pretty interesting to see how that works out. And his last skill, Certain Victory, attacks the enemy with blinding fast speed. When used against an enemy with decreased attack, decreases defense as well for 2 turns. So this dude is all about decreasing attack and just pounding on whoever has decreased attack. Hits everybody. Certain Victory is going to defense break them as well. And so pairing him with characters that are going to also decrease attack is going to be really, really strong. Definitely looking forward to that. Next up, Halls of Training official opening. We are going to be going in. We're going to be up against, we'll have Kayron, Nilgal, and then Archdemon Mercedes in here. Looking forward to, like I said, just seeing her more often. Yeah. So after the opening of the Halls of Trials, players can earn an additional 2 Wisdom's Gaze if they clear the boss fight. Okay, so that's pretty cool. It was a little bit tough to pick some of those up, and there wasn't a huge incentive really to triple S on the regular, just because you didn't have as much. I mean, you get like +2 each time, but I mean, it does now seem that like 25 + 2, 27, I can math real quick, is pretty good. It's pretty good, way better than just autoing it and getting like A or B. So definitely worth trying a little bit now. So definitely interested to see that. So is this the first one? Increases damage suffered by fire heroes, immune from decreased hit chance debuff. Ranger heroes are granted increased attack, defense, and max health. Increased damage suffered by boss monsters inflicted with decrease. Okay, cool. Decreased speed by 50%. Okay, fantastic. One of the other things too that I like about this is I'm pretty sure she's going to be dark element, which means that you don't have to worry as much about elemental advantage, disadvantage. So that helps you bring a bit more of a diverse crowd of team members on this one. Ooh, new exclusive equipment added. Blaze Dingo Boys right here. So Hellfire Defense. This is going to increase defense by 7 to 14%, making him a bit more tanky. I'm just going to assume. It doesn't say defense, but it just says Hellfire Defense. So we're going to just assume that this is going to be defense right here. So first up, punishment. When a critical hit is made with punishment, dispels 1 debuff inflicted on the caster and the ally with the lowest health. That's pretty sweet. Second up, divine punishment. Increase defense of the caster for 2 turns when using divine punishment. Not as good. Sacred power grants the caster greater attack for 2 turns when using sacred power. Now this I can get behind. So greater attack is going to allow him to follow up. So that means that if you're using your boy Blingo as a cleaver, you can pop this first turn and either, wait until his next turn or what to drop the hammer on people. Greater attack is going to be huge. Plus, while he has sacred power up, he is going to be invulnerable with another character being invulnerable. So you can make him super, super fat, super, super slow, and just build around him in order to divine punishment with the greater attack after the follow-up. It'll be interesting to see how that works out. I do believe that if I pull for this, I will be going for sacred power. Charles. Okay, so this is the one that a lot of people were like, wait, why is Charles getting exclusive equipment? He's already super crazy. Justice Mask. This is going to increase attack by 7 to 14% because Charles already didn't do enough damage. First up, Slash. Chance of activating Smash increases by 10% when using Slash. That's pretty solid. Slash number 2, chance of decreasing attack increases by 15% and damage dealt increases by 10% when using Slash. That is pretty solid. An extra 10% damage and an additional 15% damage. Now, I do think that potentially using the first one, the 10% chance to activate Smash is going to be the best one because you're going to typically run him on a counter attack set with an E-Sword just for those counter attacks into the Smash. Faithful Strike dispels all debuffs inflicting on the caster when using Faithful Strike. I don't really care too much about that. Most of the time, that's not really a big deal to me. So definitely going to be running this first one. Chance of activating Smash increased by 10%. That's 100% the one that I'm going to be rolling. If I can get 14% with the first Slash skill, just GG right there. All right, now Tywin. This is going to increase his health by 7 to 14%. And first up is going to be Swordstorm. Dispels 1 more buff when using Swordstorm. Not bad. Swordstorm, next one. Decreases cooldown of all-out attack by 1 turn when a buff is dispelled with Swordstorm. That's pretty solid. Commanding Shout increases the combat readiness of the caster by 20% when using Commanding Shout. Now, a lot of people are like, oh man, this is going to turn his Commanding Shout into an AoE. This is going to do something. I think a lot of these are pretty solid. The second Swordstorm one is pretty good. And I think that the Commanding Shout one is actually probably going to be the better one out of those. None of those are going to really make him super busted. A lot of times when you're using him in PvP, you're using him as AoE defense break and you are using him to just push. So I could see the Commanding Shout being good. I think this is just going to mostly make him a little bit better in PvE, not so much PvP, because typically when you're running him in PvP, you are going to run him with like a Bazaar so that you can remove buffs, push back, you can defense break, and then push forward with the Commanding Shout buff. So I don't think this is going to break him too much in PvP, and unfortunately out of the ones right here, I do think that Charles's are the best. Now, they didn't put anything on here about Cerelia, even though they teased it. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that, considering that they did put her on the list of 4 characters there. So it could be that she gets the Yuna treatment and she's going to be in the side story. She's going to have the equipment that you're going to just be able to pull straight from the event itself, kind of like Yuna. So that's pretty much what I am expecting there. Hall of Improvement texts, don't really care too much. Let's see. So they're going to be actually changing Cyrilia. Cyrilla. Sorry, I keep calling her Cyrilia, and I apologize for that. But welcome to the channel. So Seduction. Before, attacks with the Flame of Seduction, decreasing combat readiness by 7%. Now it will have a 35% chance to decrease defense for 2 turns. That's actually pretty solid. You're going to have up to a 50% chance there. If you max that out, that's pretty good. Next one's going to be Flame Kiss. Swallows the enemy in a flame of Chatty. The Magic Lantern with a 60% chance to inflict 2 burns effects for 2 turns. This is going to be boosted up to 85% chance, and you can, if you max that out, it's going to be 100% chance to put 2 burns on that enemy. So that's going to be pretty solid. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how she works out after the change. So they also decrease the cooldown of Flame Kiss as well. So an issue where the counterattack chance for the 4-star hero Purges skill Get Lost was not improved after the skill Enhance will be fixed. Okay, didn't know that was there. An issue where the Awaken before description of the 3-star hero Gunther incorrectly lists Bleed as an effect will be fixed soon. Okay. An issue that caused the 5-star hero Seaside Belle and the supporter to share their damage received when Seaside Belle is placed in the front row will be fixed. An issue where the skill description stuns probability for Wandering Punisher's skill Light Emissions was not applied correctly at stage 4S5 Birdseye Gorge in Sidonia. Okay, cool. Stun probability 100%. Stun probability 35%. Okay, interesting. An issue where multiple Pyros monsters fixed. Exclusive equipment. The 4-star hero Guider Aether, Euphine, Hero Armin, and Hero Yuna will have their stuff added to the Alchemist Steeple. Fantastic. Halls of Trial. Let's see, what else do we have? Anything good in here? Adjustments have been made to the items and text in the Skystone shop. The item, a handful of Skystones, will be deleted, and an item, a pinch of Skystones, will be added. The word bonuses will be removed. A Vault of Skystones will have its default number of Skystones changed to 3,100. There will there will be no change in the total quantity of this item. Okay. I mean, I guess that doesn't make too much sense, but hey, whatever you guys do, whatever you do. I don't know too many people that actually buy just straight up Skystones in the first place, except for Omega Whales. So, yeah. All right, so side story, The Shadow of Ravenwing Manor. So this is going to be a haste rate up, as well as Cyrilla coming back. Haunted Manor is waiting for you to step inside. Although that's a little disappointing, because if haste is on the banner, then the chances of a limited character are falling drastically. A little sad, but there is still time. There's still time after a potential 1-week haste banner. Having a month of no new RBG character would be a little weird to me, but we'll see. Also really dig that Cyrilla picture right there on the left hand side. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. So anyways, this is what is new content to you? There's literally new story chapter, new hall. Oh, okay, somebody's complaining. Oh, this guy. Trash patch, no new content for a month. LOL. Stormy Sinks, you are okay, dude. Okay, dude. Anyways, yeah, so that's that. Let's see. The pet system has been postponed. Unfortunately, we were gonna get it this month, but previously, but it does look like we will be getting it potentially next month due to system stability and some other things in this. So, little disappointed. I was expecting it this month, but oof. So it's potential next month. It's potential December. I would rather them drop it when it's stable than drop it and have everything broken anyways. What is just says just says just says. I didn't know that his name was the Berserker. But anyways, there you go, guys. That is it. We have a lot of stuff. I'm really, like I said, looking forward to those 3-star characters. I think that they're going to be really, really solid. Really, really solid. Also, do be aware that the patch will be coming out much later today than it typically does. Where was do they have the time on here? It's like 11 p.m. EST now. It's much later in the evening, so do make sure that when you are doing your like guild wars and stuff today, you should get it done before the patch, because if there's extended maintenance, you will potentially miss out on everything. So make sure that you're getting all of your stuff done earlier in the day on Wednesdays now, because it'll go into later in the evening, especially if you're on like East Coast. So yeah, there's that. But anyways, I got to get ready for the rest of my day and wake up because it is early AF, but I wanted to get this out, wanted to take a look at everything. Let me know what you guys are excited about. Like I said, a little disappointed that pets are being delayed, and the more that I think about it now, with like haste and stuff like that coming in the Shadow of Ravenwing, we'll probably get like a Halloween skin, but I don't know about a limited character, because realistically, unless this is a 3-part side story, there's not likely going to be a limited character in that, which is going to be make me a little sad when a limited character. Rip. Anyways, guys, I will catch you later, and peace.